every twist, every turn. Jake and Cody bring the sound, from the ropes to the ground. Perth crowd roaring under southern stars. Bodies fighting steel chairs, leave scars. TNA legends bout for glory clash. Crown jewel gold dreams turn to ash. Who wins, who falls, who stands tall? Every move we call it all. In the sun where we break it down. Smack the truth, don't mess around. In the sun where you feel the flame. Wrestling loud, ain't no tame game. Titles raised and rivalries burn. Every twist, every turn. Jake and Cody bring the sound, from the ropes to the ground. Go. Titles raised and rivalries burned. Every twist, every turn. Jake and Cody bring the sound, from the ropes to the ground. Titles raised and rivalries burned. Every twist, every turn.
What's going on, ladies and gents? Bright and early here for the SmackDown Go Home review. Heading into Crown Jewel, I feel like a fool because this SmackDown was not worth it. Bright and early, we're here to bring you the full recap and review of WWE in Perth, Australia. Hopefully you're all doing well today. It is October 10th. 2025. That's right, it's my little man's birthday, so happy birthday, Milo. We'll be celebrating later, buddy boy. He's got gifts to open. Hopefully everybody's doing well today, and by doing well, I mean I'm sorry if you had to watch this SmackDown, but I'm not alone. I've got the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Cody O'Needy. 316.
What's going on?
What's up, buddy? They had a chance to do something big here, I feel like, and they just sent the B team out to fill contractual obligations.
B team.
Go. I forgot about that. Where was Bo Dallas? Where was Mr. B team today?
I don't know.
It was weird not to have him do that. I was like, oh, they're gonna save him for the face-off with Solo, which I didn't really give a damn about. So again, thank you to XSplit for powering this stream. You can go ahead and use the link in the description box down below for 20% off your XSplit premium purchase. Go ahead and try it out for free for 14 days using the link in the description box down below, code BANANA for 20% off. And shout out again to Unidark for sponsoring our music. That's right. He goes ahead and provides us with some great tunes. Today was all me, but we've got something special coming from them tomorrow for the Crown Jewel show. Yeah, this show was disappointing. They knew all week people were highly anticipating the open challenge and throwing out all of these names and possibilities. Funny enough, what was it, 2 weeks ago, I should say, when we did Into Somewhere Weekly, we brought up a report about Shinsuke Nakamura returning and that he would basically be used for the overseas shows because he's foreign, so let's break out the foreigner when we're in foreign territory. Kind of seems like that's what they do, and
So
that's
is he
the only
back to a
times.
good guy?
I don't know.
I can hear myself, by the way.
Oh, I got to fix that. So he basically managed to go ahead and make everything confusing. I'm not entirely positive as to what they're doing and why. I mean, so he comes out. I'm assuming he was still heel till then, kind of wrestled like a heel for the most part, but then gets attacked afterwards by the heels, so it's muddy. You're not really sure. He didn't do anything to be a face besides get beat up by the heels. Usually that would align
But
him.
he's going to have to form some alliance with Sami Zayn now, right? Because they both got jumped together. And
I feel like we probably won't even see a follow-up from this. This is going to head straight into the Wyatts, and they just did that to break it up, and Solo will eventually go for Sami. But I have a feeling, some inkling, that we won't get any type of payoff with Nakamura in this.
I'm not even trying to be negative, but oh my God, is this garbage or what?
I don't want to be negative. I'm up early. I fell asleep at like just shy of 6 a.m. and then my alarm went off and I'm like, all right, let's do this. And 2 hours of sleep roughly later, I wanted the RAC Center to fill me with excitement like they were. They were chanting everything
them
they
to fill
could
you?
there. I wanted them to just pause, completely fill me from top to bottom. With your cheers, they gave us
Oh,
these
cheers.
countries. They need their own chants and cheers. You know, they all adopted
For
a
the
few of
US
those.
to go and copy and paste.
Yeah, well, Perth says they're doing the same, and they went ahead and they did the "Hey Baby" one, which I love. Granted, it wasn't for Bailey, but I also, you know, we got the Cody Rhodes and those types of chants, but it'd be cool, you know, each territory did something of their own. It feels like everybody like has to do that now in their lives, so they're doing it rather than it feeling
Well, the European
spontaneous or
force, they do that
natural.
for everyone. Roman
Well,
Reigns,
yeah,
Roman.
they are synonymous with those football chants, but they're soccer, you know, hooligans and whatnot.
Let's talk about championships for a second.
I was wrong, way
So-
off. You even mentioned it, but holy hell, what they got the belts.
I'm sorry. Remember, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not losing it, right? Liv Morgan and Cody Rhodes handed their championships over to Triple H, right?
Yes.
And said, these are going to be kept in Saudi forever to be looked at and stuff, and you guys will get rings in exchange, right?
Yes, I mean I still have this page right here from November 1st last year, and here it is. We even have the full breakdown because we were so confused by this and enamored with the spontaneity at which they were debuting, then taking these away, seemingly. So Crown Jewel champs won't get to keep the gaudy belt, but will get massive ring, as we know. And obviously, they went through. You know, that's what it is. It's Gunther, not Gunther. And when him and Cody had that match, that was a match. We got the big rings at the end for them to take, but it was said that the Saudis, you know, don't want people lugging their 50 carats worth of diamonds around various airports and car rental locations. So they're not allowing anyone to take them anywhere. The Crown Jewel titles would happen every year moving forward. But they said the winners of the matches would get a massive ring, like a Super Bowl ring, to show the world that they are the one true champion. So now they've got the titles back. They're there. Okay, but they specifically said, and these things matter to wrestling fans because it's kind of all we have. If you're not consistent, then why do we believe your announcers? The announcers are the lifeblood of your show. They are the ones to paint the picture verbally and to keep things connected, interwoven, and flowing. When we don't trust our voices, then we've got problems. And they're telling us, hey, these belts they're at WWE World for the fans to see there, and they are not going to go ahead and leave the country. That was the point of giving, because they gave them the belts, but then they had to give them a ring to represent the belt. So why have the belt at all? Yeah, Road Dogg being the still head of creative in this creative change, well, that's not exactly the case. Yeah, he's that in name only. He's the scapegoat. Exactly, Mr. Matt. And shout out to Misfit Wrestling Podcast. Ryan
So
Ward.
does Triple H even run?
Yeah,
SmackDown
it's
much,
Triple
or-
H and Ryan Ward, and that is a fact. That is a cold, hard fact. Road
just
Dogg
using
has
Road Dogg as
influence,
his
but
scapegoat, yeah.
basically he gets some ideas. He's there when Triple H isn't. He's that guy to go ahead and I feel like I'm gonna sneeze. My allergies are terrible this
Run
morning. I
the
woke
show.
up. It was so freezing cold when I got up this morning. My God, we had
SmackDown is loads of
frozen
ass.
too. You know, it gave me the same chill. It was below freezing here when we got up in Connecticut. The frost was everywhere,
was.
and it's quite the chill to get used to. I was like, mother, it's my nipples are still pointing
that
north.
time of year again.
I shouldn't be though. You know, global warming that doesn't exist has completely ruined things. So between Gunther and Chode Dog, yeah, this is disappointing. I don't want to be negative. I really don't. I'm tempting to be positive. Should be some good here, but in this entire show, I can think of. Actually, no, I didn't honestly care for that because that causes more storyline problems. We'll get to it. I'm trying to think of something that was good, that stood out. There wasn't even like a match that I was like, oh, well, at least we had this happen.
Oh, there was that. Oh wait, never mind. That was. Oh, there was that other. So what do you want us to talk about? That's
If I was
positive from
paying for a
SmackDown?
VPN service, I would be upset. Granted, I had a little bit of a hiccup, but we got through it. I, I mean, the big thing on the show is the formation and return of the MFTs.
Oh my
Now
God,
that
that's
Tonga's
so...
back, you know, we got Tamatonga, Tonga, Loa, Tala Tonga, and then the other Tongans, and then Solo, and they can't get anything done. Solo is a failure. He's literally not won a match except with extreme circumstances of help and assistance from others. He cannot do anything on his own. Legitimately, literally, we've seen it. No plausible deniability there. This man is useless. He had a thumb that he shoved up Roman's ass, and he sometimes did the little tickler to finish off Paul Heyman, and that was his only job in the bloodline. Do the spike, get out of Dodge, eat a couple of pins when Roman couldn't lose. He's still doing it. I'm sorry. This was like, the tourism board went ahead and put on a private show and then they realized, oh shit, it was supposed to be a SmackDown. This didn't even feel like a full house show. It felt like one of those like WrestleMania weekends when like matches are happening in the background during, the signings and all of that. That's what this felt like. It was illogical, nonsensical. Not even so much the booking, but how they to achieve this. It is mind blowing because everything keeps coming down to moments, Cody. Moments, and I've said it repeatedly, almost ad nauseum here. You've backed me up. We've gotten just spoiled when things were going well. And Crown Jewel shouldn't be a throwaway pay-per-view. It shouldn't be. It should matter. But yet there's no stakes. You're going to be the overall champ. Even if they told us in kayfabe, oh, the winner gets 100,000 added to their bonus or $1 million, give us something. Then the gaudy belts that they can't leave the arena and supposedly the country with, I think those are honestly replicas of the actual belts. From what I heard, the real belts are still in Saudi. Saudi commissioned the belts to be made. Not a shoot, or not a work, legitimately a shoot. Those belts were super expensive. Those
But
gaudy.
they're going to play it up as those are the real deal.
Yeah, obviously, but it from what I understood, because that's why they had the security team taking those belts in and out. They could always take the jewels out of the belt and reset them in something else. So it's not the biggest deal. They do that a lot, I guess, in Saudi culture, where they make jewelry and then they can reuse the gems after. And there's a lot of gifting there in their culture, especially having so much money. So makes sense, but. They hand over these belts and that's it. They get locked away. You saw it. You saw the security team. That was not a work. That was a legit thing. They had the Saudi security team walk around with those belts when they were showing them that were hired. They basically had an armored truck personnel that were armed and ready that would take these belts to the different places to show them off. But they were supposed to stay at WWE World in Saudi to be like a big attraction for people to come and look at. So already it's ridiculous because, all right, in lieu of the title, you're getting, a bigger title that turns into a ring. It's not a transformer. So I just wish there was a point to all of it besides bragging rights. Bragging rights wouldn't be so bad if it was every now and again too. Like if you really had a point here to hammer home, like, all right, like last year, Cody won. So now we can really say Cody is the guy and everyone has to address him as such. Like in WWE, in universe, like, in storyline, Cody's it. He's the top,
Yeah.
There wouldn't have been any, because he won Crown Jewel. Like that's how he should be addressed, as the male superstar. He toppled everybody. He's the champ and he beat the other champ. I know they don't want to diminish the loser too much, but that's what happens when you lose. Granted, I'm concerned.
Why you don't do champion versus champion, because
they should reserve this. I'm concerned because I feel like we're going to end up with a very bad War Games this year. Everyone's got their heart set on some type of Cena match against Brock or whatever, and maybe they do something with the Vision and all the guys. I'm not saying that's wrong, but to me right now, it feels like we're going to get the Wyatt 6 taking on the MFTs as a War Games match. That's not been reported.
I think
That's
we could do
strictly
a
a guess.
traditional.
Yeah, that would be much better
Survivor
as an
Series
elimination match. We had fun with the elimination matches this past Tuesday on NXT Showdown. I almost said it. No.
I'll say it.
Nope. See? Not going through. Bastards. I really enjoyed it too, even with the minor gaffes and goofs and slip-ups they had. I just don't know now what to make of the rest of the show and going forward. Like I said earlier, it's all about moments, and they want these moments to have. So it didn't matter Alistair and Drew, having their previous rivalry, that's gone, and having Drew and Damian, that's gone. Drew has cooled down immensely. Now he's a gatekeeper, as we talked about previously, and he's basically just, oh, you're coming back from injury, or you're debuting, or coming in from NXT. We're going to put you against Drew, just like Dolph Ziggler. I'm not the only one to say this. Steven Larson fame. Steve was saying it the other day, and I agree. I said it before that. Drew had an immensely amazing 2024. Unbelievable resurgence as a heel. Not a heel that turned face. He took that picture with Jungle Boy. Remember that? To go ahead and he was the one destroying social media piece by piece. And then this year, just nothing with him. And besides him being this gatekeeper role where he comes in and they have him being the one to put people over along the way before they go do something else now. Because he's consistent. You're going to get good promos for him, good reactions. So let's just have him elevate others. And it's, oh, well, you really like him. It's not even like he's my favorite. He's just that damn good. And the proverbial brass ring, you see so many times these guys go out and they grab it. They got that ring. They're holding on to it.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't allow them to move forward. Why? Because as I said, and trying to make this point still, it's about moments. We've lost, there are long-term stories and there are still elements. But they're all coming down to moments. It's not about, and people are like, oh, that's progression. No, it's not about progression. It's not about, again, with the ruse of Seth. Again, tonight, they had to have Aleister Black with the fireball. That was the main point of everything we saw. He threw fire. He could have done anything. It could have, Zelina Vega could have low-blowed him and it would have had the same effect. Now
it's given that bullshit that Alexa Bliss and Randy Orton did.
Yeah, Priest wins. No, oh, he's burnt to a crisp. Okay, so Aleister Black won, and now the feud will continue after he leaves for a few weeks to sell the burn. I just
so basically they ran back what they did with Alexa Bliss, Randy Orton, right? Remember days, and that was.
I just
so Zelina Vega's a heel now.
Crazy to see her back, and now she's going to side with her real life husband.
When was she a heel though? I don't understand.
She was a heel initially with Andrade, but since then, recently. Recently
she was with LWO.
Yeah, she's been a face for some time, and I think it could work well with her being a heel.
But
no reasoning. Good as a manager.
I am a heel now.
I wish there was something better explained here. Honestly,
just like Roman Reigns being a babyface.
Yeah, he never turned face, and all right, so they're gonna have it. Maybe they'll explain it next week. We didn't get. This is the introduction of it. Fine, all well and granted. But the thing is that we know we're not gonna get it, and then the pairing could be good. Oh, it's husband and wife though. We wanted to see them together. Fans wanted this, but will it work? Because they actually have to let Zelina be Zelina. I don't think she's not a bad in-ring competitor, but I feel like she far excels at being a manager. When she was with Andrade in NXT, she was friggin' fantastic. That hurricanrana that she gave Johnny Wrestling, Mr. Gargano, was a thing of beauty at TakeOver. She managed to elevate Andrade, do the heel cheating routine, but in a way that felt somewhat fresh and believable. And the fact that she was, able to lay in moves, and it wasn't like, oh my God, she's so strong. No, she hit you with a hurricanrana, didn't kill you, but it was enough to distract you. The ref was confused. Like it worked. And it was never oversold like she was this Terminator either. You know, she wasn't a Rhea Ripley at 4'2". She genuinely was just cunning. She was smart, and her cunning stunts, it just left a lot of room for growth. And I thought the two of them would head to the main roster and have that dominant role continued, and that was anything but the case here. So, unfortunately, it just doesn't feel like it's working.
I mean,
Yeah,
you got to look at the positives of it. You ready?
sure.
I'm going to list down all the positives of this. Starting now.
Okay. 1. All right, let's start over. 1. And
Yeah, that's
all
all
right.
I got.
Number 2.
Sorry.
So there was a post last night that I actually wanted to put out myself because I wanted to ask people, say something positive about WWE in 2025. What can we get? And there are good things, no doubt about it. The show is not horrible. It's not god awful. It's just
Well, Raw.
boring,
bad.
and that could be worse. It's not good bad where, you know, it's so bad it's good, and it's just existing right now. There was no match or moment this morning that grabbed my attention. I
don't understand though. Here's what I don't understand. Monday Night Raw, like you saw this past Monday, they at least tried to build on story.
Yeah.
Fridays, I don't know what they're doing.
They cut back on the tag division entirely, and then they have gone haywire. With, you know, obviously they lost the third hour, so that's going to cause some setbacks as far as story development.
Yeah, I think you've mentioned that as well. Like, were you in the minority on that with making it shorter? You're like, people are going to get TV time cut and stuff.
Yeah, I think they could book a good 3-hour program. They had decent SmackDowns with 3 hours, and people are like, oh, it needs to be 2 hours again. Well, this is what happens.
You might be
now
right.
It's rushed.
You might be right. I was in the boat of 2 hours, and you know what? You're right.
The majority you
might need that third hour.
You might need that third hour for just the overruns when things happen in the ring, and you need a couple extra minutes. One thing we did notice tonight, they didn't have commercial
United
breaks.
States Championship, yes, that's a time. No, they did not.
They only had one all morning. I'm sure they'll cut them and put them in when they go to air on TV for cable tonight. But I wish on Netflix and whatnot. That's how. Yeah, they got us out of there about 18 minutes early.
9:40s, and we were like, "Wait, what?"
I was like, "This is the main event." I thought that, you know, I guess I misunderstood. I thought they were going to have Alexa Bliss and Charlotte defend the tag titles against Sol, Ruka, and Zarya. I mean, did they really fly them?
So you did the opposite of what I thought, like with LA
on Raw. So I misunderstood.
We both had that brain part.
We were both ass backwards this week. I mean, wings from Flair. That's about how my brain felt going through all this shit, because I'm like, where was the disconnect? So you flew Sol, Ruka, and Zarya out there, all the way out there, for them to have a 10-second TV backstage moment. That was it. Not gonna have them wrestle. All right, I know Zarya from that way. Well, New Zealand, right? Or either way, Australia, New Zealand. She's home. This should be a big deal. Everybody thought we were getting Grayson Waller, at least. I would have been excited for that, just being, hey, he gets to perform in front of his hometown.
The crowd would have popped for him.
Yeah, they've done the Grayson Waller effect on NXT and other places recently, but they don't do it now or here when it mattered.
A lot of people want Sami Zayn to drop that United States Championship, and let me tell you something. If Sami Zayn drops that United States Championship, might as well purchase a tombstone for SmackDown, because that show is...
I don't know how much longer he will hold it, but they are heavily weighted on him defending the title on SmackDowns. They're very reliant on Sammy being
That's like the only thing they got.
Present. It really is, though. I mean,
so
what more do
Sami
they
Zayn
have?
Drops the title, then what do we got on SmackDown?
Then we have
the, just...
the women's U.S. title.
That's a thing?
I thought it was just a toy, like a replica, but I was wrong. They did bring it out tonight. Julia had it.
Wow.
her friend, Bolt on Tits had it as well. So Kiana James, always flirting due north with her. There was good in 2025. Cena winning his 17th title was a good thing for him. So I'm excited that he broke the record, just not how with this year. See my point? Like every majorly fun or good thing has some type of asterisk with it. It's got some type of issue or benevolent evil factor just forced upon it. We're seeing from behind some unscrupulous terror named Triple H making everything messy. Like a really great match with Cena Cody. So if you can do it and subjectively look at it in a vacuum as just that SummerSlam match, fuck yeah, that match. Woof. Bell to bell, that is a barn burner. That is an excellent
The
match.
build up to that was funny. Cena being a heel, like saying, "I don't want to do this. I have other obligations, and I don't want to get hurt." Then randomly, the day before the show, "Oh, I'm sorry."
Hours before.
Anyway,
hours before. It's like he got a great talking to by the caretaker. That is the Undertaker in catering. Catertaker. He goes ahead and
Michelle McCool on him.
My wife wants 18 title wins, so you're going to have to stop doing stuff. So now Michelle McCool is going to be the 19 time, not 18. She wants to go 2 over. Men's champion. Wow. That's right. She's going to dethrone Seth and Cody and be the undisputed champion.
She wants to keep taking people's jobs, huh?
Yeah, she's just racking them up. The dead woman. People are going nuts online about that
for
too.
Your job every review because
I mean,
you never know if Michelle McCool is going to be.
She's around every corner hiding. I got to be careful. I don't know what to expect. It is worrying and threatening. So, and this week we've gotten some really great things that matter. The Hardy Boys winning the tag belts was not a moment. It was a moment, but it was not done for the moment. There has been a build going on for a long time with different layers and continuing threads and narratives that makes great sense. The Hardys needed this resurgence, so they go back to TNA to say, we're old, we're beat down, we don't know if we still have it. I've got to see if we've got it, Jeff said. And Matt said,
the developmental brands titles are being defended by 2 legends, and they're facing 2 other legends.
2 future Hall of Fame legends, and going against
already.
Yeah, and going against, again, Hall of Fame legends and tag team, in the making of the Dudleys. And everything they did to get us there was a stroke of genius, because now you've got this immense swell of support for the Hardys, obviously. And then we're going to get the Dudleys. And now they've got the tag belts that they have yet to capture, the NXT tag team titles, the developmental brands belts. People want Edge so bad for Cena's one of his last matches before we get to Gunther. And I don't see it happening. I was a little bit on board with the reality, not the idea, but the reality of it actually existing and coming to fruition. I was like 12% on board with it, being like, oh, this maybe could be a thing. Maybe Tony gets, but what does Tony get out of it? Copes on AEW side, not for a while. He re-signed, I thought, or had adjusted his contract, so he is there for a while, and I just cannot imagine benevolent Tony, the ultimate kind person, letting him go and have this match.
I think Edge going to AEW, I respect it. I still like Edge as a wrestler, one of my favorites, but of all time. But I think going to AEW is tarnishing his legacy a bit.
It was very misguided, because he thought he was going to go there for one thing and ended up having to do the exact other. He's hurt himself since then, and he's done really nothing of note since being with the company. And
I really just think he would have been better off staying with WWE.
I think he would have been better off staying just retired. He had his last match. Baz was there. It was in Canada. I don't know if it was in Toronto.
Yo, we clutched up in Toronto, elimination chamber.
A show
it
where
was.
if you think of SmackDown, you think of Edge.
Yeah. So my long and drawn out point is we had the NXT tag titles get taken, but it wasn't just, oh, the Hardys win. There's so much going on with it. The Hardys win, but now they're taking the belts to Bound for Glory. And now TNA stars are defending the NXT tag titles against Team 3D. It's like tables, man. But there's so much to it, and who they faced and who they put over. And they said, you know, Hardys have a right to the tag titles. We faced and beat your champions before when the belts weren't on the line. Therefore, we should have had a shot. Like, logical from every standing point that I can find to address. Today, it's moments. AJ Lee returned, but it was a moment for WrestlePalooza. They've done nothing since. They pushed her to sell tickets. Where is she? Becky and Lyra, that whole feud really just fizzled out with Bayley. Evolution 2 was damn good, but it was an afterthought, really, because it all came down to, oh, we just need to have this because. It didn't feel like they wanted it. The TLC match at SummerSlam was great, but SummerSlam itself was a hit or miss in segments. Mania as well had that amazing women's triple threat, the Io Bianca Rhea match with Io, you know, going ahead and walking out on top. Amazing triple threat. True 5 out of 5 star match of the year. Whatever you want to praise it for, it's got there to praise. But again, what did we really get out of everything afterwards? There wasn't even a really cohesive story in there. Bianca wasn't supposed to be involved with the other two. She was already doing stuff with Jade, and everything that was happening on that side of things with Naomi and her turn. And again, it was for the moment. The Sammy U.S. Open Challenge is fun, but it's not new. It's a Cena thing, and it's been going on since. And like I said, Cena's loss at SummerSlam, great match in a bubble, but you can't always look at everything in a vacuum and everything in. I try to give them as much. Oh, look, in hindsight, or you know, but I can't excuse everything here. You have Big E admitting that he struggled with suicidal thoughts even at the height of the New Day, and it only got worse when he was basically forced into retirement. AJ Lee is pushing mental health as well on you know, a new ground and form of you know, foundation that, hey, this is important. But they don't push either of these causes. I'm not saying like everything needs to be a cause, but they when they do have like genuine moments outside of the company that they could capitalize on, instead they don't. And I feel like that's why NXT knows what it is and why it's working. They know they're developmental, but they also realize like, hey, we have this ability, this power, and we're going to present it in such a way. We're not going to take ourselves too seriously. We can present serious moments, angles, and matches, but we're not going to be, you know, our own worst critics, nor are we going to be too harsh on ourselves. We're going to be more lighthearted. People are learning here. People are trying to better their craft, develop, hone in, whatever you want to say. They're making it a positive. I like the idea of what NXT does as far as storytelling, because it takes the already best parts of the talent you enjoy and just turns that up to 11. Letting them be silly, letting Lexis King be an idiot with Tavon Heights, and it's enjoyable. And the thing is, if you don't like that moment, that segment, especially with NXT, you're moving on to the next, as we're SmackDown in Perth, dragged. And last thing I want to say before we get into like the full review of today's SmackDown, which God help us is little to say anyways, a little bit of housekeeping. We've got the live review of Crown Jewel tomorrow morning. We'll be here again, Cup of Joe in hand, bright and early. Forget Java. I see the hashtag Cup of Joe was trending, not from yours truly, so that's what we're sticking with, damn it. Everybody loves our Cup of Joe coffee. See, got the Cody tumbler, the Cody hat. I'm marking out over here because of Liz. We'll be live as well Sunday.
Joe Henry.
That's right. Henry, not Hendry.
Joe.
Oh, Henry. Henry, not Hendry.
Say his name and
He
What
appears.
other Joes are there? Joe
Um,
Tessitore?
yeah, Joe Tessitore's on there, and obviously Joe Hendry. I think that's everybody. So we also have Bound for
There's another
Glory.
Joe. He was the host of Blue's Clues back in the day, right?
Doesn't ring a bell.
Right.
Doesn't ring a
No.
bell. No,
Oh.
not with my brain. Bound for Glory. Hell of a show. We previewed it this week. If you've not seen it yet, check out our Crown Jewel and our go-ahead and full preview for Bound for Glory into Somewhere Weekly this past Wednesday. Check it out. It was excellent. As we said, Trick, I don't know, is he going to win or not? Him and Mike Santana for the TNA World title. Matt and Jeff, Team 3D, one final table for the tag titles. Both brands on the line. Must have a winner. Leon Slater, Javon Evans for the X Division title. Kalani Jordan and Indy for the Knockouts title. Frankie Kazarian and Steve Macklin for the TNA International Skip. Inspiration taking on the Elegance brand for the tag titles for the Knockouts. Gia Miller, Tessa Blanchard, announcer versus wrestler, should be interesting. And then the System taking on Order 4. We have the 20-person Call Your Shot Gauntlet intergender Money in the Bank style contract match for a shot at any championship over the next year. All we know is Li Ying Lee goes in first and Mance Warner enters last. And we got the Hall of Fame as well. So Mickey James, the Beautiful People, Angelina Love, and Velvet Sky. Going to be a lot of fun. Make sure you tune in and join us for it. The AEW Title Tuesday show died a death, my friend. I am not a detractor of AEW. I like there being an alternative to
steady.
WWE. I
Steady.
want to see
Wins
them
the race.
succeed. Genuinely, I wish they could capitalize on the strengths they still possess, but it's falling to the wayside. And I'm just very... Now the alarm bells have to be sounding. So they went ahead, and Nielsen had always reported their ratings. In the United States, how it worked is certain people that had cable would get a cable box, a set-top box. Whatever they watched, the system would record, and they would use basically math, I suppose, is what I've heard. And they would extrapolate all these set-top boxes, and they would say, well, they watch this demographic watch that. And they would kind of transpose the numbers using, again, some type of logic. And they would say, okay, well, because X, Y, and Z watched A and B, that means it was 1 million people that tuned into this. So it was never truly exact, but it was an estimate. And it was the only estimate at times we had. So it was the best estimate. But it was indeed an estimate. I can say that legally. It was an estimate. And now we have to be a little bit upfront. There's a thing called smart TVs. Hey, what do you know? And they send out constant signals. One thing I also did find, which is very interesting, is that some channels had it, especially for like local ads and things like that that get thrown in. They would play a high-pitched noise not discernible to the human ear during the background of these commercials. And what would happen is there was a receiver out there that would pick up when these commercials would be played by the high-pitched frequency. And then they would be able to tell how many people were viewing said ads or whatnot. But it's not an exact science, obviously. Now, with the set-top boxes being in the TV connected to the internet at all times, you're getting an exact number. So basically, before, a lot of extrapolation and guesswork. Now it's more exact. So last 2 weeks, we saw ratings go down somewhat. I wouldn't say too drastically, but drastically enough. Around 10 to 20% was being lost. So it was a good deal. And it looked like every company suffered from this. And we said, hey, maybe not enough people are watching wrestling like we thought. And so this week, AEW got 321,000 viewers on TBS.
But the greatest year that they've been having in their entire existence, right?
But last week they got 465,000. So now you could say they're on Tuesday. It's not their normal
But
night.
here's the issue. Here's the issue. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but this is what's going to be the downfall of AEW. It's not going to be the AEW haters and criticizers that try to want to get the company better and back on its feet and
Not a
have Tony
chance,
Khan
no.
listen. It's going to be the people that just go out there and say on their fake little podcast, "Oh, AEW was a great show," but AEW was a great show this week. AEW is doing amazing storytelling. What stories? You want to know what? AEW sickos are going to be the reason this company is dead. I wouldn't even be surprised if it's dead within the next 1 to 2 years.
I mean,
That's what I'm saying.
they could have been dead already, but they are
But here's the thing,
totally
they can't even sell out that Daly's place
I
in
know.
Hollywood, Florida, or whatever. They can't even. They have to get comp tickets. Do you see the things that they're doing in Texas? They lied about their attendance numbers by what, like over 12,000 people.
Yes, they
This is what they did.
exaggerated quite a bit.
And those attendance numbers are not even it, because then you have comp tickets on that. So how many people really paid to get into?
Yeah,
that
respect
pay-per-view?
my authority. Yeah, they legitimately have screwed their numbers by skewing it a certain way too, by having to hand out tickets and all that. Like you said, they had a capacity set up for 4,200, and they had sold initially like 400 tickets. Not great.
I'm sure.
They eventually got, I think, 2,800 at the end, but still, like you said, how many were comped, given away? And for like the 6-year anniversary show, they set it up where they even had like drink bottle service type idea. So they had bartenders serving people in their seats. It was ridiculously expensive. A single beer was like $22 on this menu. I kid you not. But here's the thing, at least they offered, whatever, I guess you would call it table service, but at your seat, like they need to be pricing tickets for families. They need to be, but the issue is their show isn't a family-centered show. You're not taking, little Jimmy and Susie usually to AEW. That's, you're not going to take little ones to the tack match that's got the dead, fish in the ring because it was a bloodbath, but it got too real. Oops. So, Title Tuesday down
This
from
is another
465 to 321. Really quick before we get into
Tony
the last
Khan.
issue. Yeah, NXT, they walked away with 625. So the last few weeks since they've changed the ratings have been consistent. Everybody went down, but everybody went down. Now things settle. We had NXT and Showdown, and we go ahead and we see a increase because the viewership went up on NXT from 572 to 625. The demos went up all around. So as you were saying, sir, yeah, there's many issues, but
Yeah. So here's my other thing. Tony Khan plays up his company as a real sport, but I hate to break it to his sorry ass, but it's sports entertainment, just like WWE. I wouldn't even consider, no offense to any wrestler, the athleticism is crazy that goes into it, but it's not really a real sport.
No, it's
Like Tony Khan
predetermined.
but Tony Khan thinks it's a real sport.
It's a real athletic sport,
it's
but it's not a
real
athletic.
athleticism.
But it's
You have to
not.
be athletic
Yes, but it's
for it.
not a real athletic contest. There's no. You have the predetermined. Yes. Just like you're working with your basketball team, you have to work with your opponent in the ring and make sure you protect each other and put on the best match possible. But you're not actively competing. So you're right. It's not a sport.
Opponents on the screen, but they're actually a team because you have to work together.
Exactly. And
so if it makes sense to you. But like here's another thing. They false advertise. They said like Fozzy will be playing at some of their Dynamite shows. Did you see about this? Did you see all this?
I saw little bits. They've
We'll be
made quite a few.
performing
Yeah, they've made quite a
rap
few
songs.
claims.
It's
I'm trying to
defend this one, sickos. They will.
Basically they said that ex-CEO Vince McMahon, they're trying to say like, oh, everything was everybody else's fault. Everything was everybody else's doing. And
they blamed MLB playoffs on Tuesday for the low ratings, but NXT, a developmental show. Dynamite's supposed to be your Monday Night fucking Raw. And
oh, the government shut down. That
NXT, the
affected it.
developmental show.
Oh, the news is
that
on.
did.
Oh, Tony Khan took a piss. Like there's always going to be some type an excuse, a constant excuse. So they were going after
And it's
Vince
funny.
Russo online, and he was like, "Hey, Vince mortgaged everything he had. He put everything on the line. He didn't have money, bro. He would have been finished literally if anything did not turn out a success at any point in time. Not just WrestleMania 1, but long past that, when we were at WrestleMania 11 and dying a death." Ricochet needs to learn his history because, bro, Vince did not get his money from his father. People forget that WWE was not self-made millionaires. You know, it's all earned. You could
What
try
did
and
Ricochet
say he was basically going on and just continuing to throw schlock at WWE and say AEW is better. And I'm trying to
He's a
find his
fucking
original
idiot. He's
quote.
a bald dumbass that has no charisma, that can't even fucking cut a promo. He's a ballet guy. That's all he is. Not even a
Yeah.
wrestler. He's a flip-de-doer. That's
And
all he is.
He keeps saying, well, Vince was handed his company from his father. So what is that? You know, it's the same. You can't say anything about Tony because Vince was handed. Vince bought the company from the man that was his sperm donor. It wasn't really a father. His mother was sexually abusing him and fucked with his head for years, physically assaulting Vince McMahon. And when he had all these different stepfathers or his mother's boyfriends that were abusive to him, so finally, you know, the crazy bastard's had enough, and he gets out and he goes and sees his real dad, who never wanted anything to do with him, and he's like, hey, dad gets him into the business, and eventually Vince takes over by buying him out. His father told him, just like he told Shane on that documentary, I am not getting out of your way. You're in mine. You will have to kill me if you want this. You know, you're going to have to stab me in the heart. Wrestling is more of a sport than cheerleading. I don't know. Cheerleading is a hell of a sport, too. I mean, it's kind of on the same lines, I would say, because you're doing something that's extremely physically demanding and risky. Very risky, but it's
I would say cheerleading is a sport
predetermined,
more than
rehearsed.
AEW.
Or one
That's
and the
what I'll say.
same. And Vince's father was so hard on him. Pause. And had a hard on. Double pause. That this, I mean, Tony Khan's dad literally gave his son his money early so he didn't have to inherit it because he wanted to see him enjoy it while he was still here, which is a great thing. But it just shows like Tony was handed everything. Tony was flown to ECW matches as a teenager. You know what I mean? Like he got the best of everything. And
He got daddy's money, and he just
hey,
did what he ever
I'm
wanted with it.
I'm envious in the way of like I'm not jealous, but like, hey, that would be great to not have to worry about money. My God, that would be ideal, huh, babe? You better be sending out those feet pics. But it's just not realistic. Tony, he can do this until he runs dry of money. Basically, he's got the finances to keep AEW afloat. They could have one viewer and be fine. And the thing is, I look at TNA. I was never a big TNA fan back in the day. I watched WWE. I looked into TNA early on when they were doing the pay-per-view shows still in the asylum. And it was so bad. I spent $10 on one of them. I watched it with my buddy John, and it was horrific. We got high, tuned in, and it was just bad. We had the Dicks out there as a tag team in spandex, and
The who?
the Dicks. It was like bananas in pajamas, but worse. So I just didn't really give
Wait,
TNA.
that was our gimmick. Bananas and pajamas.
We'll see what happens for Halloween, but I don't know, you know, about the time that I tried to give it another chance, but seeing at that time Samoa Joe and Style, I was big into Ring of Honor, so I knew the names of these people, but I wasn't watching TNA. I've since gone back and I've seen incredible matches, and I've seen silly things, and I've seen Hogan take over, ruin, and relinquish TNA. My point is, it was not
See, I
that
watch
long
TNA
ago.
more. That's why.
Yeah,
I do.
you tuned in regularly, and I look back 2017, you know, 8 years ago at this point in time, I'm on Twitch and I see Impact is broadcasting live, and I'm like, oh, they must be showing a rerun. There's like 20 people in here, and I go in and it's like, nope. It's not long after COVID, so granted the audience is super small still intentionally, but they are broadcasting a full weekly episode of Impact on Twitch to 20 viewers. I was floored. I was like, at max, they had about 500 concurrent viewers at the height of their peak of popularity at that time. Max?
Well, this is when I stopped watching it. I watched it when it was TNA original.
Yeah, but I'm saying at that point, like they went through the severe growing pains. They almost died a death, and they have fought and scraped and scratched and clawed to get where they are at this point. They have worked so incredibly hard to go ahead and command the audience as such. I'm excited. I admit that I am more excited for Bound for Glory than I am for Crown Jewel. That's also with the booking, but TNA has done it. They have worked extremely hard to earn their resurgence, to earn their popularity, to earn being in the picture with WWE. Yes, they're competing, working with WWE's developmental, but I mean, really, it should be main roster with TNA if you're thinking, eye to eye, but that's not how it's being handled. And I like it this way. People are like, oh, the invasion thing, it was stupid. And I was like, no, it wasn't, because it was a showdown. And the reason for it makes great sense. It's logical.
You know how I was with the invasion and showdown, or whatever you want to call it, though.
Yeah.
It was, I think you just get like PTSD from like previous invasions and all
Yes.
that. And then that's why I'm done with this shit already. Then it ended up being good.
It worked out very well. And if you look at it in full, all the context taken in, here's the ebb and flow of it all was perfectly done, because they weren't competing. They were working together for a long time, past year now, and TNA has been there. That's why it wasn't this invasion. It was a showdown, because they have gone ahead and they've worked together, but TNA is like, God damn it, man. Fucking hell. They have our belts. They've got our men's, they've got our women's title. Maybe Kalani is choosing to team with us, but they still have our stuff. And we're sick of it. We're sick of the circumstances around it, and we want our stuff back to be represented by us. So they had this massive showdown, and
that's why I think TNA should have clean swept to make a statement.
I think it's still a statement that they were the only ones to win any gold that night, and the fact that they tied it up at least. I mean, people weren't even giving them a chance. They thought it was going to be a sweep with NXT. So
you know what's funny?
More to be done.
The only TNA people that won WWE titles are our WWE guys. So,
but that's a lot of TNA. TNA has been that place for people to go when you were let go from WWE.
The full women's right TNA team was all ex WWE.
Exactly. the Iconics and Mara Sade, Jakar Jackson, and yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. Kalani Jordan was there as well, obviously.
I'm just saying that, give it to an actual TNA team that's never even worked for WWE.
There's
These
more
are
to
WWE
come,
legends.
but that was the point of why they chose those people, to be like, hey, you left us in the dust, and we're going to show you made the wrong decision. And on top of it, so all of those ladies, all the people that were let go, have something to prove. And we've seen many of them go into Impact then, or now TNA, and make a name for themselves all over again. Such popularity resurgences, like Cody, look at Drew. Drew was skinny, lanky, and in 3MB. And then he put on all of that goddamn muscle and became a man, boy to a man, and was able to be Drew Galloway in Impact, to the point where it got over and WWE said, all right, we're going to bring you back. You got something. TNA needs to exist. It matters. It's the in-between point of these companies. And I genuinely, like I said, I love what we're getting from them. And I like having options and choices now.
TNA is a bigger company now than AEW.
I don't know. You could argue that AEW might have a bit more, I don't want to say popularity. Maybe you could say reach with how it's handled because, really they don't, TNA doesn't have a TV deal. They don't have, certain things that AEW has in place. Granted, they also have Collision, so that's bad enough. And during Collision, I guess we're hearing Kota Ibushi, poor guy. He
Do
was
you
on
watch Collision?
I don't. And he was on the top rope taking on Josh Alexander, and he was on Josh's shoulders on the top turnbuckle. So he was even higher up. I guess they lost their footing. He fell and broke his leg from what I'm hearing. I mean, he was taken away by an ambulance. Kenny Omega came out and worked over Josh to try and make it, somewhat salvageable. But yeah, poor guy is broken, so that's not good. Thoughts with him. Oh, and all though this collision taping that they had, or they call it Collision Homecoming. This was not good. It's going to be going on tomorrow, and you're like, you already know all the results. That's why I wanted to cover SmackDown this morning when it happened. And I mean, you're getting Beast Mortos and Eddie Kingston, Anna Jay and Tay Conti in a squash match tagging. And then you have Roosh, Sammy Guevara, and Jalistico taking on Johnny Nitro TV, whatever you want to call him, and the models, Mansoor and Mason Madden. So awesome. Really great. And the acclaim still isn't the acclaimed.
Figure itself out. It's going to be like Collision soon.
Yeah, I mean, they got to give us something here because this was so just piss poor. I don't know. We got a lot coming up this weekend still, like we said, too. So ESPN's going to have full coverage before Saturday, October 11th at 8 a.m. is the PLE, but starting at 6 a.m. tomorrow will be the pre and post show events afterwards. So go ahead and check that out if you want to tune in. They're having a kickoff special today, obviously before SmackDown at 3 p.m. Eastern. And
According
that's going to be Crown
Meltzer,
Jewel on Friday. Yes.
Got a little bit of news here. According to Dave Meltzer, Dominic Mysterio is currently scheduled to defend his championship against John Cena at Survivor Series.
See, that's something I had heard, but I didn't know the legitimacy of it. And my worry was, we'll talk about it. And I forgot to bring it up the other day, honestly, when we were talking about the what ifs. But I try and avoid like straight speculation. Like we've known for a long time, Gunther was rumored as his final opponent. We've mentioned this back when Cena was first like, hey, starting this year and I'm retiring, like he had it last year when he headed into this year. So we'll see what we get of it. I mean, yeah, but got to go ahead and install the glory hole somewhere. Might as well be due north. We'll see what happens with it. But Crown Jewel, I'm hoping the show is good. It's got solid matches booked on the card. I mean, we don't really care about the supremacy and superiority that comes with being the Crown Jewel champion. I wish there was bigger stakes or something else on the line. Cody, Seth, we've seen it before. We'll get the same again. Likely Seth will win, but I'm still at least anticipating something good coming out of there. Very excited for Stephanie to take on Tiffy. Is it Tiffy time or is La Primera going to win? You got Roman taking on Bronson Reed in a down under Australian street fight. That'll be it. Probably wild, and I'm still unsure of the ending. It seems like Roman will win, but Bronson needs it. So lots to look forward to. A couple other matches. Obviously, it's going to be hopefully a damn entertaining show. This SmackDown, they started off with Cody Rhodes. They're live in Perth. Like I said, it's the 10th of October. They're at the RAC Arena, and we go ahead and we basically get the usual from Cody. I was waiting for Seth to come out and have a back and forth. I mean, they briefly talked, but I figured it would be better to have them face to face versus doing I agree with this. You cut a promo.
Because if you really want Seth Rollins to believe in himself and this means the world to him, he needed to confront Cody Rhodes one more time. to his
Yeah.
face.
No, you're totally right. And that's kind of the thing here, and that's the problem. So
But 20 out of 10 segment right there. Fucking beautiful cinema. Chef's kiss.
right? I do like the stage.
Woo!
The stage with the jewel outline with the lights looks cool. Pyro
Stage
great
was
as always.
but
The fans are
nothing beats
great. They're
the
doing
old
the
school
Cody
stages.
Rhodes chant. Obviously, we got the Cody Oniti.
Oh, that's what they were chanting?
They were. And when they were like,
How'd they
Cody
find out my full name?
Rhodes, and then they're like, Seth is a wanker, but so is Cody. I don't know. They were
It's Cody Rhodes, right? Wink.
yeah. And then the fans, they kept chanting, and Wade Barrett gets up and they chant his name, and he's like, Seth's a wanker. After they chanted, fuck you, Seth, shut the fuck up, whatever else. Bad language on those Aussies. You boys are not behaving. Cody was good.
You
but
blame me for whatever reason.
yeah,
You
I
should get them
mean,
to stop swearing.
stop swearing and get Seth out there. Like, what are you doing, Cody? Be the director.
Sorry, I didn't know where he went.
You should be on top of Seth. You got to know when he's out buying more Fabergé eggs. And Braun Breaker was
What
busy.
clothing store would he have been at? Like some sort of
American Eagle, actually, in Australia.
oh.
Mm-hmm.
You knew this?
He wanted to go to Abercrombie and Fitch, but the male models were on lunch break, so Seth said he'll stop back in later. He wanted to touch their abs. It's weird.
Abs.
Yeah, he's got a weird fetish. Remember his leaked nude photo of him just standing in the hotel room, nice and erect? That's how that photo came to be. He was at Abercrombie and Fitch touching abs, and he was just so enamored and just captured by their essence that he needed to photograph the moment. But when he went to go do so, he forgot that his clothes fell off. How many times have we had that happen to us? You and I have been at Walmart and our clothes just fall off. Woof.
Say his name, man.
No, I
That just
didn't say
happened
Joe
to you
Hendry.
the other day.
Yeah. It's still being investigated. I mean, it's a mess, but what are you going to do?
Investigated.
Yeah. Sir, Cody was
Well,
good. You were better. This is
speaking
supposed to
about
be a serious
investigations.
message. What do we get? It's not a serious message. And
Ben?
investigations galore. So, little update. He started to do a lot better. And I was like, oh, good. He's feeling better. He's eating better. The nurse they provided was encouraging. So I'm like, we're going to get some stuff here. We're going to get something good. And I'm like, he's being really like just ornery and feisty and argumentative. I'm like, that's weird, though, because you're usually so jolly, right? So I was like, Ben, have you been taking your meds? No.
Was he?
So, no. And that's why his PTSD is acting up. So, I didn't know that he was in the Lithuanian army. He was actually a rebel fighter, and he would conscript people that were on the other side. He would try and turn them through means of torture. So, Ben, yeah, he would make them watch AEW on repeat.
Did he do that to you?
No, he's tied to the bed right now until he decides to take his meds. Are you gonna do it? No. All right. Granted, we still need
What
a
about
producer.
Tylenol?
I'm out. I took it all last
You're not
night.
giving him that?
Trying to sleep. No,
Oh.
we're out. I gotta buy more. But unfortunately, I think they're out here too.
How much autism are you trying to get?
All.
Oh,
At least. See, you and I just made the perfect example of what they did it during the opening of SmackDown. We just fully acted out what should have been a serious moment, what should have been an actual true impassioned promo by Cody, turns into just schlock and shit. It's just him joking around. What do you want to talk about? And I'm the best ever. Seth's a wanker. Shut the fuck up. And the event is sold out.
like Cody Rhodes' promo comes across odd though. Like he should like Seth more and appreciate Seth more. No,
You would think, but
because he helped them finish the story, and now they just suddenly don't like each other again.
It's weird.
Ben,
Yeah, no, you're Ben.
Ben,
No,
Who's
you're Ben. He just he thinks his name is not Ben anymore, and I'm trying to tell him. He's looking at me all weird. No, you're Ben.
Ben,
Yes.
no.
No, you're Ben.
Ben,
Yes, you.
no.
I don't want to argue with him, but
Ben,
yeah,
Does the retirement center
you're
know you
Ben.
took him yet?
Do they know you're gone? I'm assuming that's no. Did you tell them?
yes,
That doesn't sound like you're telling the truth. Did you really?
no,
All right, we're gonna get in trouble. We'll figure it out.
no.
Oh, great.
I mean, Jesus. Between the two of you, you got him burping. Really?
Oh, that's not me.
I think that was him this time. Oh yeah,
Was that
I
the
smell it.
puppet?
No, Puppet's gone. So when I came downstairs
What happened
today,
to him?
all the liquor I had, it was completely empty. There was glitter everywhere, and I mean like
Oh, no.
tons of glitter, like the herpes of the craft world of glitter, all over my desk, my keyboard. Took forever to vacuum clean it all up, but there was liquor, glitter, and piles of sugar, I think, all over my desk, and
The hell?
a couple of burnt crayons, and what's left of condoms. I don't know. It was really weird.
So, are you insinuating the puppet did all
And
this?
he had some ticket to a nightclub, a couple of condoms, and like I said, a whole lot of glitter and sugar. So we're gonna figure out where Puppet Jake went tomorrow. But as far as today goes, Puppet Jake is MIA. Maybe he's trying to celebrate Milo's birthday. I don't know, but
It could be. Are you sure Ben wasn't a part of whatever that fiasco was?
I mean, maybe Ben. Have you seen Puppet Jake anywhere?
Yes,
So where is he?
uh,
Do you know where he is?
yes,
So where is he?
no.
All right, fuck this. I'm gonna make the nurse turn up
What
your
did he
meds.
say?
Then just no. He's just useless.
Wait, nurse.
Yeah.
I thought that old age place didn't know where he was.
No, this is the new one I hired. Granted, this is the one coming from state approved. What wasn't approved?
Where did you find her?
Don't worry about it.
Or him?
What wasn't approved is this U.S. fucking Open Challenge. I expected something exciting, Cody. Something. Not
You got
Nakamura.
Shinsuke Nakamura. Yeah,
Naka!
it wasn't.
Knock it the fuck out is what we got. Knock it. I like
I wanted to
Nakamura. I
instantly go back
do.
to sleep.
9 years ago, before they failed him, you know, he won the Rumble and then he loses to AJ with a low blow. You know, like, they went to Dick Kick City 50 times and he never captured shit. They didn't do anything worthwhile with Nakamura for ages. And then every time they try and do something again, it's like they get these little bits of success and then it's like, oh, the autism kicked in fully and it all falls to the fucking wayside. It's just, I don't know. The start stop of it, like he disappears for a very long time, not injured, not like he's just gone. You're like, is he re-signing? Is he gone? Is he like, what's going on here? And then they're international again. Time to go to that well and whip out Nakamura. So Sami Zayn has won 4 matches against Nakamura, while Naka has knocked it the fuck out of the park with him 3 times. So it could have been they had this match build to a tie, but now they're 4-3-1 because we get a 12-minute no contest. Wasn't a great match, was very, 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 very weak, very straightforward. And it was not even like a house show affair where you get the audience into it, where you get them going, where you get them excited, you get them, yeah. This was it, and the audience is trying to get behind Sammy still. They're you know pumped up for him, but they're also cheering for Nakamura. So it's weird. It's you figure they would be fully behind Sammy, but it feels like hey, we're still cheering for Shinsuke. They're trying to get the Blue Thunder Bomb to be his like ultimate put you out finish. I appreciate that. That is a positive. They're working with that as much as they want to get it over. Hopefully they keep going with it. But it all ends when a hooded man comes over and gives a lariat to knock it the fuck out, and the barricade takes a spill to the outside with Naka on top of it. He tumbles over, and a hooded man enters the ring with face paint. And it happens to be one of the Tongas. Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa, Tala Tonga, JC Tonga, whatever. It's one of the Tongans. And they all show up around the ring, shield formation. They're ready to strike. They get in there and they beat the
That's
hell.
making me yawn.
They beat the hell. Sammy's. Yep. What bullshit? Oh, sorry. I forgot I was doing a show. Yeah. No, Sami Zayn gets
What
his
were we
ass
talking
kicked. Nakamura gets his ass kicked. And the MFTs look strong. No one gives a single solitary damn or iota of a fuck. And I mean a fuck about the MFTs. They were never over. The only reason people cared slightly was Jacob Fatu, whom we happen to see next. And it's all about him facing Drew. So, Drew's like, I want to have a match with Fatu in his home area. So next week we'll have that. And earlier in the night, we saw, Drew attack Jacob. Now we see Fatu attack Drew. They get pulled apart. We get a match next week in San Diego or San Jose, one of the two. One of the Sands, could be San Francisco. A whale's vagina. Then I was looking forward to this match. La Primera coming out. Stephanie Vacquet, thank you, Nikki, and Tiffany Stratton. It was, in fact, Tiffy time. They take on Julia and, as I said earlier, bolt on tits herself, Kiana James, who looked okay here. She didn't look great, but she looked okay. And they're mentioning that, Tiffany Stratton beat Kiana James in an NXT women's title match a couple of years ago when she had the belt there. So, testify. We go ahead and continue on with this match, and it was just build up to the Devil's Kiss, one of the most fascinating moves in WWE today. Got to get Booker behind that one.
I like it. Oh, yeah, man.
You said that was your favorite, anyways, of mine, the Devil's Kiss.
What?
And then I finish it off with a chef's kiss. Julia, she
Why
gets
did
a
you
big...
do that to me? You did that to me like almost every time in your
It's,
basement. For
you
whatever reason.
said yourself, orgasmic. You know it. Make
Whoa.
everybody pop. So, Stephanie tags in and she clears the ring finally. But then it's all about keeping Stephanie away from Tiffy. They really split the ring. They corner her off. They're beating the hell out of her. And finally, Julia comes in now and Kiana's done enough to hold her off. Julia hits a big Northern Lights bomb and all this stuff. And the one thing I did laugh at, Kiana is supposed to keep Stephanie from tagging Tiffy. And Stephanie is very close already to reaching Tiffany Stratton unintentionally because she's supposed to be kept from getting the tag still. It's not hot tag time just yet. They're building to it. And Kiana is just getting through the ropes into the ring. Stephanie's almost there. So she makes this like mad dash, but she like stomps her feet when she does it. It just caught me off guard. I laughed like a little hyena when I saw this. She basically like stomp walks over. I was the whole time. Just like a little Japanese schoolgirl.
Are you sure that was about that?
Yeah,
You told me
absolutely.
it was about Ben waking up next to you.
Listen, I like cuddles like the next guy, but no, this had me chuckling. She rushed her ass over there to make sure that Stephanie couldn't reach her. And Stephanie's like fingertips away, just holding, trying not to be able to reach. The audience was like, ah. The fans, I was hoping we would get kind of an inclination as to who they are behind. They're behind women. Yay! It's my favorite place to be, behind my wife. And we go ahead here and we kind of just saw equal support. Basically 50-50, maybe 55-45 in favor of Stephanie, but I feel like that even kind of switched a few times with Stratton being more on top. No complaints with her on top. She can moonsault us any day. But there's only one spotlight, and that spotlight can be reserved only for the winner. So we got to see what happens at Crown Jewel tomorrow morning. But this match was an 8-minute affair of bullshit in the sense that these four could have put on something. That probably would have been better too. I would have preferred anything out of these four than what we got. Because they didn't wrestle poorly. It wasn't a bad match, but it wasn't,
The Soul Snatcher.
you know, we
what?
didn't have anything exciting to
Tiffany
write home about.
had an affair with El Grande Americano. I wonder what Ludwig would think about that one.
Poor bastard already had to deal with, you know, Charlotte trying to molest him. Yeah. So we got Sol and Zarya in the back, and they're talking to the women's tag champs. They're talking to Charlotte and Alexa. How do you think Perth felt knowing they're in the back, but they don't get to see them? And Bliss is like, oh, you're stepping into our spotlight. Because Charlotte's like, you're stepping into my spotlight. And Bliss is like, our. And they make a comment about, you know, somebody gave you a chance. That's all we need. So Bliss is like, and Charlotte's like, yep, request granted. And then Bliss is like, but we're not going to go easy on you kind of thing, you know, and all right. So Bliss is like, oh, look, they're not even on the same page. And then they walk opposite directions. It was supposed to be funny, and typically I would be, you know, finding humor in the segment, but it's just like, and then disappointed they're not facing off. And I wanted to see it. So thank you guys again for being awesome in the chat. Hit the like button for us.
As crazy as it is.
Yeah.
Alexa and Charlotte together, I think they work well together.
Yeah, it's been fun. So, Dexter Lumis and Joe Gacy, Street Profits, get their theme back.
I thought,
this is completely
again, because
skippable.
they switch back to their new theme and then their old theme, and then new theme, then old theme. This has happened multiple times.
I wish they didn't have Dexter and Joe just beat them in a 10-minute shitty match. It all came to B-Fab on the outside getting attacked by Nikki. Nikki is so useless in this group. She hasn't had a match, I believe, yet at all. And then she goes ahead and basically does that little jump off of the turnbuckle or the table or whatever. That's it. She has to fly around the world to go ahead and do that.
You want to know what I think?
At least when she was a superhero almost, she was wrestling in a tag champ.
Well, you want to know what I think? Instead of talking about almost a superhero, Nikki Cross or whatever they call her, Nikki ASH, right?
Yes.
But yeah, I think they should have done the Street Profits breakup tonight or this morning.
If you're gonna have them lose, do something with it. B-Fab is beat on the outside, and these two get taken apart, and it all comes down to Solo Sikoa, Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa, Jason Mysterio, and Paula Tonga.
Yay!
And the fans are chanting, holy
I'm
shit.
so happy.
Why? What's the holy shit that we have to see this? Holy shit.
Because
I
how
don't
bad
want
the
this.
show is. That's
yeah,
what they're chanting holy shit for. They're chanting holy shit.
And then you got
shit.
Solo's a wanker. Solo's a wanker. Solo loves cock. Solo loves cock. That's about how it's going. So I forgot the clock is ticking to do a physical therapy. So we're winding down. Damian Priest, Aleister Black, last man standing match. This is our main event. What else do you have to say about the Wyatts? I mean, Uncle Howdy not there. They've frozen the tag team division entirely. We were making progress immensely. One of the highlights on SmackDown was tag team wrestling. Oh my God, Triple H is booking tag teams right again and all this stuff. It had its resurgence.
I got something to say about the Wyatts and MSPs.
Hit me.
You know.
Hit me.
My God.
No, everybody, Cody sleep. He hasn't gotten much rest like me, so we want to make sure he's. We gotta. You up yet?
Huh?
Back at it. Sorry. Yeah. This shit disappointing. I want to love
Fucking
the
garbage.
Wyatt 6. I've got the Wyatt tattoo. It doesn't come off, you know? This is not what I expected of the Wyatts. Now they're heels, but they're still kind of being presented and cheered like faces. Like none of this, I don't want to say makes sense, but it doesn't make sense. It's not explained at all whatsoever. There's
You know
no
what?
story
You
to
wanna
it.
know what I think?
What?
For real though, I
Yes.
think that maybe WWE gave SmackDown a bunch of Tylenol.
Yeah, I think that's probably where my excess went, because when you think about it, you want to be enjoying this, but SmackDown as a whole, like the whole tag thing, the reason I was so excited about the Wyatt Six was, all right, one, it's continuing the story that Bray and Uncle Howdy were going to tell. So that's a great thing right off the bat. Wyatt's legacy lives on. The whole point of this group initially was everyone dealing with loss, losing their family, losing their way, and needing to reconnect through the means of a similar goal to find purpose again. With each other and amongst each other, we are stronger than individuals, and alone, we could become a new family. And anyone in our way is going to be slightly inconvenienced. I mean, they haven't really done anything. They get the tag titles, but they're not menacing. They're not creepy and evil. They were fan favorites for a bit, and now they're back to just, I guess, somewhat heels, pseudo heels. It's confusing, it's upsetting, and all the lore, all the stories, the VHS tapes being delivered to Pat McAfee, and all this, production just for what? The moment of the MFTs versus the Wyatts. Holy shit. Like the original Wyatt family and the Shield. It's supposed to be so big, except people loved those two factions, and no one gives a single solitary, tiny, minute, little, insignificant iota of a fuck about the MFTs. Not one bit. And then finally, before I have to bid you adieu, Damian Priest, Aleister Black in a last man standing match. I think the fans started chanting, "We want tables," before they even fucking started. I'm tired of it. I get people want to see the table spot, but let things progress. I mean, did you really? Whatever. I mean, this crowd was good too for the shit that they were given. They were alive for 8 a.m. for us. I know it's nighttime there, but I give them credit.
What time was it
they were
there?
excited. 8 p.m. for their start. So they're 12 hours ahead of us exactly in Perth. Yep. So just switch us to the opposite for PM, and that's about it. Aleister Black is a hell of a wrestler. He's another one. Ton of lore, ton of great stories. Come pick a fight with me. The Dark Father, all these things. We're not getting any of it. I guess Priest is supposed to be the bad guy, but kind of, again, wrestled like a pseudo-face. The only take-home point of this is that Zelina Vega joined him at the end. So we go ahead and we get them on the outside. Priest hits Black with a second Razor's Edge on the broadcast table. Basically Black rolled off of it to have his feet break the table. And then the referee counts to 9. He gets back to his feet. He stands up, and they're over the barricade, and now they're following each other, and they end up going up to this production area. And Priest toss Black up there, and they're kind of like, it's a broadcasting box. And all of a sudden, Zelina Vega crawls on top of it, and she gets on her knees in front of Aleister, and she's pleading with Priest, "No, stop, don't, you'll kill him," I guess. And he's waiting for her to leave, and all of a sudden, Priest winds up, but Black hits him with a fireball. Oh my God. And then the referee counts him down as they cover his face with towels. You had a 7-minute last man standing match. So after everything that these two endured previous to this in their history, they can only get 7 minutes. We never got a chance to get invested in this match. It was extremely rushed. There was no heightened sense of peril that built towards the conclusion with Zelina coming out there and pleading. We didn't feel like Aleister was in danger. He wasn't on death's door for her to pull this ruse and manage to save him. So all in all, just very very silly, very disappointing. All for the fireball. That's going to be what's tweeted over and over again and shared. Oh my God, he did the fire thing. And it looked good and they did it well. It almost went awry. You know, you get the flash paper. But now my worry is Priest will sell this for a while and we'll get all the way through. And then Survivor Series, they'll have some stipulation match. Like that's how long we got to wait for. And that's what the payoff is going to be. I hope they continue to do more with Aleister Black, but I mean, people aren't wrong saying that Triple H wants to be closer to Dana White in the sense of he wants to be, you know, the biggest star of the brand. And it certainly feels like he still wants to capture that glory. You know, that's why shows open with Triple H and whatnot. I know there's not a lot of fireballs used. People are like, oh, this is such a big deal. But flash paper and I don't know, the husband and wife team up should be more of a bigger deal than the fireball. But to me, that was less. So, granted, I want to give this SmackDown like a 3, my friend. This was very upsetting. They had a chance to really do something special here. Every match was sub 8 minutes. I mean, there was not. I think the U.S. title was 11 minutes, and that was the most of it. And granted, we didn't have commercial breaks, but it's still, you know, that's what we got out of it. The rebroadcast tonight, if you haven't seen SmackDown, skip it entirely. I give it comfortably a 3 out of 10. I'm excited for Crown Jewel somehow, but
2.5.
2.5. Damn. Hell of a final verdict. Well, my friend, we have to go ahead, and I totally forgot that I have physical therapy. I was like, oh, we'll have tons of time to be alive forever. And
now you're blaming me for it.
I know. Look at that. It's you getting fined for it, but we will celebrate Milo's birthday as well. I'll post that photo later on. The little guy's got to have some apple pie cake. I got to be Betty Crocker and make it for him. But we'll be live tomorrow morning for our ultimate Crown Jewel review. We'll be hanging out with you guys bright and early. It's going to be a hell of a time. We're going to have a lot of time tomorrow. So we'll be with you for a gigantic supersized show. Possibly have a few people swinging on as guests besides myself and Cody. Should be fun. In the meantime, I hope you all have a great Friday. And Cody, please tell these great people where they can find you, my friend.
You can find me over on my Twitter or X, whatever you like to call it nowadays, at Judgment Day Era. You can find me over on my YouTube, whatever gaming content I end up posting. I don't know when it will be, but it will happen at Judgment Day Era. And you can find me over on my Instagram at Cody_180_316.
Hell yeah, my friend. Thank you all for hanging out with us. Shout out to Unidark for always being the main theme producers of the show. Even though this is my track now, we're going to have more from them on the Crown Jewel review tomorrow. Make sure you tune in. Then Sunday we'll be live for Bound for Glory as well. Big weekend, ton of fun.
Congratulations to Carmella and Corey Graves for their newborn child.
Congratulations to them. You know, congratulations all around. So, got to go ahead and celebrate the good with the good. Tomorrow's going to be a hell of a lot of fun. I hope you all have a great day. And until then, stay sexy. And we'll see you later.
Every twist, every turn. Jake and Cody bring the